We are live.
Hello, son. What took you so long to call?
Hi, Mom. This is Jimbo.
What's happening, dude?
How you doing, sexy? Hi there, this is Hello, how are you?
Hi.
Hi, Mom. This is Jimbo.
What do you want?
Big boy, what can I do for you? Five-star restaurant, can I help you?
All right. Welcome to week 5 of What Did Prince Do This Week? And in the background, if you're new, we're playing a little Madhouse 5 because we are week 5 of What Did Prince Do This Week. Let's start our greetings. First in the chat, the Red Cat Uprock. Then we have Andre Staley from Detroit. What up, though? We got Cassandra from ATL, home of a new Prince mural being unveiled. Yay! Good morning, Sakari, for being here. I love the 5-star restaurant. How can I help you?
Right.
You gotta hear the end of it.
Hello, son. What took you so long to call?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is a really great, fun song. If you want to hear Prince do all of his voices,
Voices and stuff.
yeah, it's pretty rad.
There's one who says, "Hi, welcome to Dial Up." No, I won't say the word. I don't know if you hear him say this.
I haven't heard that one. I'm gonna have to listen to it again.
Yeah, you gotta listen.
For the gazillionth time. I get so stuck on 5-star restaurant. How can I help you? Because I'm Southern, so I love that. And also, he kept saying he says all the way throughout, like, son, what took you so long to call?
It took you so long to call.
Yeah, and I really hang on to that one.
What's happening, dude?
Yes, so many great ones. And one of the things that I love about Madhouse is the use of these voices in the background, which he would carry over into Love Sexy, right? Like the voices and like the skits and stuff buried throughout the song, which I absolutely loved. All right, welcome, April from Tampa. Good morning, Real Line of DJ, still rocking Ice Cream Castle on the profile. Good morning, Mila, my heart. Welcome, Prince Podcast. How are you this day?
Doing good, thank you. Good to see you. Looking good now. Okay.
Thank you. I got on my Jamie Star because we're all about Star Productions today. If you did your reading, you should know why. And we got good morning from Denver. Welcome, Nick Belden. We got Melvin Rush II. We got JJ Loves Prince. Hello, purple people. Love that. Good afternoon, Dorothy Edwards. Welcome, Drea Dances from the Shy now. And miss being with us live last week, but you are here today, and we're so happy that you are here. We got Man Ray 10. Good morning to all my purple peeps. We got Chris. Yay. I love it when Chris is in the house. So we have like a fact checker in additional information. So thank you so much, Bornay. Thank you for that. Bornay.
I like that.
Chris Bornay. I got to say it multiple times so I don't keep mispronouncing it. Thank you for that correction, because I love corrections. And we got Kim, and we got Arlene from Canada. We got Shalimar. Love that. Shalimar H. Blessings from Michigan. I'm seeing some names I haven't seen before. We got Patricia Ruffin. This is the first Saturday live. Welcome, Patricia.
Really?
For being here.
Come on in.
We got Raywin, and we are working it like a job. Thank you so much.
What up, Raywin?
And we got Kim L. We got Mooches from Philly. We got to say that. And
I just feel like such an old school Mooches. Like, I don't hear that no more. But okay.
So can we? So I don't know about this. Do you know anything about this, Michael Dane? Can we do reactions to float onto the screen now? Do you know anything about that?
I haven't heard about that on StreamYard.
I don't know. You got to school us, Mila. We got I learned a lot of stuff from my students, so that's one of the reasons why I love teach. They like teach me so much. We got Lee Christian. I got your email. I haven't responded yet because I'm drowning in emails. I'm so sorry. We got TP. We got Heavenly Gains. We got Tanja.
All through the night. Promise to see Jesus.
Because Tanja is wrapping up their birthday week. Team,
Oh yeah, that's
yes,
right. Happy
yes,
birthday.
yes, just extend it to the rest of the month. That's the way I would do it. And we got Purple Cat Confetti back in snowy Denver.
Wow.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Much blessings, peace, love to your bestie, Rosalie.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Welcome, Tracy. And Patricia is from NYC. Love it. Thank you so much. We got Marcus G. We got Lisa. We got Audria representing the ATL. We got Revolution 86 from the NYC. NYC is in the place to be. We got K Cool Music. And my last name is pronounced GSNG. All right. I
Word.
love that.
You better get it right, goddamn.
I love that. And oh, so Mila's saying I can see hearts floating on my screen. Maybe it's a you
Oh,
thing.
maybe interesting.
Huh. I wish StreamYard could integrate these.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. Now that you say that, Mila, we got a tech person on staff now, you know what I'm saying? Gino Shakajagrachi or something like that. He's doing all that,
All right. Welcome, JD. It's so great to have you here, as well as C. Lee, Mississippi Morning. And we got to have another happy birthday. Because again, I believe you should celebrate your birthday for as long as possible. Even if it was 2 weeks ago, Drea dances, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy
We
birthday.
got Brandy T720. Um, this is funny. All right. And we got some happy
Hilarious.
birthdays. We got Annie Ward from France. And let's see what else we got. All right. Okay. Let's get started because we actually have a lot to cover today. And you know how it goes. We don't want to go too far, but our timekeeper isn't here yet. Where is Kim?
Not a timekeeper late.
Yeah.
We're gonna be in trouble today.
That is such a good point. Yes.
Very.
Oh my God. Patrick Courthouse notes 6 o'clock in Amsterdam. And we got Tommy Harris Jr. And my eyes are getting bad, y'all. So don't take it personally. And then I love this. Bring the purple therapy on, everyone. That's really beautiful. Yes. So we're gonna start with our housekeeping first. And again, for those of you who don't know, but I gotta say hello to Deja, because Deja's with us
What up, Deja?
almost every week. So what did Prince do this week? Week number 5. That's where we are. We're going week to week, not date to date. Follow the detailed schedule at that QR code or the bit.ly link. You do not need the expanded edition. However, I can't find my mouse. I got Here we go. There we go. But that's what we're reading. Expanded edition, blue. Love that. Let's just do it all. Like it's just fine and all that.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. And for those of you who ordered from Dwayne, you have like a little bookmark.
Got all that. I got the official. Well, mine came with one of these. How about that? Symbol in the back.
That's great.
Came with a pair of Sign of the Times glasses. The second edition. From the estate.
Oh my God. But I love my bookmark. That's the reason why I'm pointing it out. And one of the reasons why I'm pointing it out is so that Dwayne can see that I use my bookmarks. How many of you out there still have your bookmarks? Okay. So these will be archived on YouTube at Polished Solid as well as at MDean. Please subscribe, like, and help spread the word. Yes. And our hashtag is WDPDTW. And the Gmail will come in handy. If you saw the Purple Rain Tour, we want to hear from you. So remember, if you want to come on or if you want to share any tickets or t-shirts or photos or anything like that. Oh, wow. This is really great. Purple Cat Confetti met someone at Petco that had not heard of this book. They were grateful to know about it. That is really awesome. I love spreading the word. Yes. the book Love. And the estate of Prince Rogers Nelson is not affiliated, associated, or connected with the What Did Prince Do This Week book club series. Is an independent endeavor. And as I told you at the top of the hour, we played 5 Madhouse. Okay, so what did we talk about last week? Last week we talked about 4 days of Take Me With You. And guess what? We're going to talk about Take Me With You for 3 more days because we're going to get started into week 5 of What Did Prince Do This Week. So there were 4 songs total. I got to put the S back on because I took it off last week because it was on 1 song. And then 7 studio visits total, but they were split over January as well as February. So for the last week of January, there were 3 visits to the studio for Take Me With You. And we had Take Me With You. Let's see. We'll read about it when we do, just to speed things up. And then for the entirety of January, Prince recorded 10 new songs. Again, special thanks to Chip and Sparrow for pointing out the error I made. And when I say I love when people correct me and point out errors, because I don't want to be right. I want the information to be right. So I really appreciate Chip and Sparrow letting me know I've forgotten a song. So again, if you see any errors anywhere, please point them out. I really appreciate it. And then also there were 25 studio visits that we know of in January. So that was the first part of the week. The latter part of the week, so we flipped from Take Me With You, which technically could have been on an Apollonia 6 album, possibly. And Prince went into full Apollonia 6 mode. These 4 days, in my personal opinion, is super magical. We start off on Wednesday, Some Kind of Lover, listed as Tricky, the basic tracking. Also, we had vocals for Some Kind of Lover on Thursday, Friday, A Million Miles, basic tracking and vocal overdubs, and in a Spanish villa, basic tracking. Then Saturday, Manic Monday, which was originally slated for the Apollonia 6 album. I kid you not, yes. And basic tracking, Prince vocals. So these 4 days alone are really special to me because I am one of those people who I adore the Apollonia 6 album, which I call Brenda 6, only because Brenda is holding down a lot of the vocal duties. She's singing lead on Some Kind of Lover. She's singing lead on A Million Miles. And she is just the glue, in my opinion, that held Vanity 6 and Apollonia 6 down vocally. All right, so we have 7 days of Take Me With You in the studio total. So let's get into it. We're gonna get out our books. We got a lot of reading today, unfortunately, because a lot happened. Again, 7 days in the studio. So let's all go to page 245. Okay, so I'll start off with the reading. So Sunday, January 29th, 1984. And let me go back to this view. So you're not just looking at that. Okay, so strings and various overdubs, Sunset Sound Studio 2, 6:30 p.m., 10:30 p.m., booked, locked out. Producer Prince, Morris Day crossed out. Artist Prince / Apollonia. Only Prince was listed and the time was crossed out. Engineer Prince, assistant engineer Peggy McCreary. And this is the quote is from David Coleman this time around. I remember Prince asking if I had my finger symbols, and I said, yes, I do. And that is when I came in to do Take Me With You. Now, for me, this was the beginning of a love affair that Prince had with the finger symbols because he didn't let go of those finger symbols. Oh, yes, for a while.
Staple.
Yeah, very, very much a staple. And Dwayne writes, after several days of work, Take Me With You still wasn't complete. So Prince decided to add strings to tie the music in with some of the other tracks on the album. I'm not going to read what David Coleman recalls just to save some time, but Novi Nabog, who had already recorded the viola and violin for Prince on several tracks, recalls what Prince was like when out of the public spotlight. This is a quote. Prince was very confident. He always stayed to himself. He was very shy, unless he knows you. Always very polite, but very shy. But real nice. Not threatening in any way, and no ego trips that I saw. The track would be the first song he'd release that contained finger cymbals. It is likely that those were added during this session.
Mm.
So I
You
love
should have had the finger symbol sounds. Ching ching. But I have to kind of add that for next week.
I had too many slides. I'm totally not ready, but we certainly need that. And I love this comment from C. Lee. The finger cymbals were his cowbell.
Mm.
And I love Dorothy's comment. So much work on such a short song. And Chris Bournet, the Apollonia 6 album is so underrated. I wholeheartedly agree. And we have Myron. I love the Apollonia 6 album. So do I. And oh my God, Dre dances. I didn't let me see what Celia is talking about. I missed something. Where are y'all highlights in y'all books, like your grandma's Bible, along with them post-it notes, so y'all can quote the good scripture of the NIV, expanded version.
Keep playing with the Bible now.
Yes, and and the finger cymbals always reminded me of the little bells that hotels used to keep on the counter to summon the concierge. Let me see. Hold on. So actually, I forgot.
Oh, you got some Prince.
I don't have. I have some finger cymbals. They're still like packed up and everything. Let me see if I can get them out. Real quick.
That's a Prince fan. And just have them right on deck like that. Like, I'm about to get my 1984 era. There you go. Wait, do that again.
Hold on 1 second. Let me. Oh.
There you go.
So
that was the missing element. I never figured it out until I heard it.
Yeah, there you go. All right. And I love this comment from Marcus G. Around the Rolling the Day was a heavy finger cymbal album. That's right. And speaking of Around the Rolling the Day, we're gonna have, guess what? An Around the Day in this Around the Rolling the Day symposium next year. I can't say that super fast. So
Man, that was Prince. Like, okay, I'm gonna do something earthy or something. Change the sound up. That's it. That's all I needed to do.
yes,
Add that into it. Same drum machine, everything, but just put that on. I'm earthy.
Yes. And we got Strange Relationship, the Christian. And all right. Thank you for that. Yes, they are hard. I'm sure you noticed my technique is not the best. So thank you, Mila.
With the dedication.
All right. Our timekeeper is in the house. Prince using them pushed me to find finger symbols that my grandmother had for some reason. We got to find out, Kim, why your grandmother had some finger symbols. I would love to know that. Yes, I definitely need some finger symbol lessons. So
you have the whole Prince finger symbol subset fan group.
They're like, you're bastardizing the sound. I'm so sorry. But all right. And then we got Melvin saying, I fell in love with the finger symbols during the Raspberry Beret recording, especially the 12-inch version. Yeah. Thank you so much. All right. Obviously, you guys know I'm a little corny, and so I do my best. I'm not a musician. That's the reason why I love musicians so much. So I definitely need some help. All right. So we are going to go and read about Mo. Take me with you. So if you don't mind, Michael Dean, we're going to go to 246.
Oh, Monday. Got it. Take Me With You, Apollonia and Prince vocal overdubs, Sunset Sound, Studio 2, 7:30 p.m. to 4 a.m. Get me over here. Booked 7 p.m. Open. Producer Prince. Morris Day again crossed out. artist Prince. Only Prince was listed, and the time was crossed out. Engineer Prince. Assistant engineers Peggy Mack Curry listed, and David Leonard. Take Me With You. This is a quote from Bobby Z. Take Me With You is just a beautiful song. It's just so great how he got Apollonia in on that. And it's just a beautiful song that really catches you every time, Bobby Z. And I agree. For Prince, adding vocals was never simple because he almost always knew what he wanted, and that required translating what was in his head to tape. Recording anyone's vocals often required embellishments, and because it was his first duet, this was no exception. Apollonia was not a singer, explained Lisa Coleman. She was an actress. So the poor thing was thrown into the studio. Here you have to sing this. She was like, oh my God, I don't know how to sing. And she did the best she could. I doubled her vocals on Take Me With You to make it sound a little better. In fact, you can hear background vocals from Coleman at a minute and 20 seconds on the album version, Don't Care Where You Would Go, and a variety of other places throughout the track. Joe Jones was also brought in to do additional vocal work, which didn't always sit well with other performers. Interesting. He had a guy, but I was a ghost vocal, recalls Jones. If I were another singer, I'd be like, God damn, why is she always saying that? I don't think there was any malice or malicious intent. I always knew that over a period of time, it instills confidence in the singer. I think that when they think, I think that when they think that is them, they go home and they listen to their tapes and they come back and maybe do another vocal on top. And they actually get a little bit more cojones if they believe a little bit that it might be themselves. Even with Apollonia, it wasn't ever to take anything away from her. It was just to strengthen her so she would come back and approach the studio differently. I believe that's how he felt about it because we saw a difference. Like, oh, wow, she's getting there. And it made for better performances in the studio. And he could discover their style. And that would help Apollonia start to do her Betty Boop style thing. And on that note, I'd have to say Apollonia created that herself. And that's what happens from that. And that's all just because you have the support of somebody behind you. And this is from Joe Jones. So it ends with a total of 7.5 hours were spent adding vocals to the song with contributions likely from both Prince and Apollonia. Prince would place this song on a single C60 tape, but he also transferred something he recently recorded to 3 C30 tapes. It is possible that he what was that
C90.
C90, sorry. It is possible that he'd been recording potential pieces for the score of the score for the Purple Rain movie and was copying this or any incidental music to cassette for the editor and director to consider for placement in the film.
Yes. So I love this comment from Chris Bournet. I love Apollonia, as all of us do, but this passage makes me wonder why Prince didn't hire a singer/actress since there were so many out there.
Well, she had the look.
Well,
Took
yes.
the whole hour just to make me.
She
Well,
did have the look.
so what do we remember from that? Well,
Uh,
Lake Minnetonka.
yes. Okay. Kenny, yes. I remember Betty Davis. I actually did a full day symposium about Betty Davis back in 2017 with the late, great Greg Tate giving a talk at it. And I recently bought all the reissues from Light in the Attic records because they re-released all of her, everything except for the Columbia years on colored vinyl. And in some cases, there are 2 sets of colored vinyl. So yeah, I'm all about Betty Davis. Yep. Let's see. So let's see. We got David saying, I agree. I feel like he should have gotten someone with real vocals, especially since he was trying to make Vanity nervous with her replacement. And then Celia saying they probably went with someone who looks similar to Vanity and hoped like hell she could halfway sing. But I think Celia's onto something, don't you think? Michael?
Probably want someone who look well. Yeah, I mean, I think you're replacing vanity. You're not replacing a songstress. Apollonia Six or Vanity Six is the group. He's got to keep that going. He brought somebody in there that would seem to throw it all off. I
Yeah.
get what you're saying, but Prince, as we go to see, Prince has a history of bringing people that are not super singers, but he's able to make it work in the studio where they're what he's trying to present. So.
Yeah, indeed. That's really fantastic, Kenny. I really love that you got Crashing for Passion. I mean, all of Betty Davis's albums are fire. It doesn't matter which one you get, but that is actually one of my favorites, even though I'll tell you that all of them are my favorites. So it's really good. In fact, over Christmas, I have never done this in a long, long time. I listened to 5 Betty Davis albums back to back to back in one sitting without doing anything else but listen to Betty. So that's how much I love her. All right. So Chris Bournet is saying there are plenty of singer actresses who are drop dead beautiful, like Vanessa Williams. But I think, again, like Celie has a point with like just having a prototype, like Vanity being the prototype in terms of the looks. Vanessa wouldn't have fit that prototype. And I love this. I can hear Morris saying this. Yes, indeed. Yes, I'm sure Betty Davis did. I actually talked about this with Jill at the Triple Threat Symposium we had last year. It was actually the first question I asked Jill because I wanted to know if Prince talked a lot about Betty. Jill said that not really, but I do think that Prince actually listened to a lot of Betty because in Prince's autobiography, The Beautiful Ones, he actually talks about Betty. So there you go. If you want some more Prince, Betty Davis cross action. And all right, Tommy is saying, what's y'all favorite track on the AC album? So let's just fill the chat here. I'm trying to figure out. Budget says hello. I don't know. I need a little bit more context. JJ loves Prince. Prince knew he had Jill, Brenda, Wendy, and Lisa to supplement the. Good point. I love this point. JJ loves Prince. He was probably going for that look, personality over vocal talent. So Ricky comes through with 1,000,000 miles. That's why we friends. That's why we friends. Because that would be mine. And we got 2 blue limousines in a row. We got Man Ray 10 as well as Mila. Oh, I see what you're saying. Read the Purple Rain film casting. Got it. Budget says hello. That was what it was referring to. And let's see what else we got. We got another 1,000,000 miles. Look at Preston coming through with Some Kind of Lover.
That's what I picked. Yeah.
Is that one yours, Michael Dean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What is it about? Is it the bass? Is it Brenda singing? Like
right when
exactly.
that piano.
Yeah, indeed. Let's see. Apollonia and a camisole. Enough said.
Hilarious.
Okay. Let's see. All right. We got 1,000,000 miles. Yes, Revolution 86. Brenda sang that song. And Tommy says mine is the last track of AC, which is in a Spanish villa. And Preston is saying it's about that funk. And we got another 1,000,000 miles. And Tracy is coming through with 1,000,000 miles. And let's see. All right, so let's get started. And Ricky, when I get finished, I will see if I can bring you on. Okay, so we are going to talk now about Tuesday, and we're still talking about Take Me With You, mix and edits, Sunset Sound Studio 2, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m., booked 7 p.m. to open, producer Prince, artist Prince, engineer Prince, assistant engineer Peggy McCreary. And we have a quote from Prince because it is bold. One of the things that I think is important is that one learns how to listen. So I never stopped being a fan, even if the music was coming through me. Love that quote. Because Take Me With You was Prince's first duet. I need to bring this book closer. And it was he placed in the movie. 5 hours were dedicated to getting the mix right. This was different than his usual method. 5 hours were dedicated to getting the mix right. That is
Mm.
definitely different. One thing that were really important, we set aside time just to mix it, explained Susan Rogers. But for the most part, we mixed as we went along. During the session, Prince was charged a rental on a Lynn drum set LM1. I want to make sure I say LM1 because we have people who want us to be accurate. So he may have added them to the track, but if he did, they were hidden during the final mix. The distinctive sound of the electronic Simmons SDS5 drums can be heard clearly in the introductory tom drum roll that recurs in the break before the end. At this point, I'm going to say this very slowly for our newbies. Take Me With You was still planned for the Apollonia 6 album. Can you imagine Take Me With You on Apollonia 6's album? Now that Prince had completed 2 songs for their project, the next week would be committed to filling in the remaining spots. So now that Prince had completed 2 songs, so we got our Sex Shooter and we got our Take Me With You right now. That's all we got. So Prince is like, I need to jump into hyper mode, hyper speed mode to get these other songs going. All right, so let's see what's going on in the chat. All right, finally, someone came through with Happy Birthday, Mr. Christian, which is actually, I love Happy Birthday, Mr. Christian. And it's actually, I really consider it, well, I guess technically Sex Shooter and Happy Birthday, Mr. Christian. Apollonia is really the lead. Apollonia is definitely lead for Happy Birthday. I don't consider it for In a Spanish Villa just because she's really talking. You know, she's speaking Spanish. And it's such a guitar heavy song with Prince, you know, doing amazing guitar on that song. And let's see what else. JJ Loves Prince says, so funny how we think all this time for one song is so long. I bet it's normal to spend this much time on a song for most. Really good point. Thank you so much. We are so used to Prince completing a song so quickly. I really love that. All right. Oh, this is good news. Thank you, Tommy Harris Jr. Speaking of LM1, there's a new machine coming out with a purple motherboard. I know that Roger Lynn released a new instrument called I think it was called Linstrument or something like that, and I wonder how it's doing. And I wonder. This is an interesting point. What do you think, Mike?
Well, I would say, yeah, if it was in the movie the same way it was, and they had that on their album, and it was maybe a single, I
Mhm.
think it would have helped that album a lot. Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
which
And
is I think why he pulled that song and put it on his album. It's like,
which he often does, right? And he did the same thing with Maserati and Kiss, right? So I like this quote from Preston Pearson. I'm glad the decision was made for Take Me With You to be on Purple Rain. I don't think it would have worked on Apollonia 6. I don't think it would have worked on Apollonia 6 either. I think it could have been like a B-side maybe, but obviously it's not a B-side for most people.
I will say this. Can I just say it might be controversial or not? As a person who is not a fan of the Apollonia 6 album, it would have definitely made me probably play it a lot more.
I am. Look at you. Look at you starting stuff. Look at you. Look at you.
I mean, they got cuts on the album. I'm not saying it's a bad. It's just
My
I wasn't really playing it like that.
1984 album that I
Salute.
have played to death because I love it so.
I ain't mad at you.
Yeah. It stays in constant rotation. Apollonia 6,
As
in
it
fact,
should.
never falls out of rotation. The Glamorous Life falls out of rotation. I'll
Okay.
play the Glamorous Life song, but not the
Interesting.
album. But I'm talking about the Apollonia 6 album stays
Okay.
in.
Let's start it right here. I'm glad you said this. Between Apollonia 60 album and Glamorous Life, the album, which is the better album?
For me, Apollonia
You-
6.
Okay.
That's
I'm
me.
gonna have to go with Sheila E. But I'm not saying that the other one's bad. Just for me, song for song, and I can let it play. I would rock with it. Well, I want to
But
hear what y'all think. In the
yeah,
comments.
Budding Anarchist does not agree.
Okay, John Wyatt.
Ricky says Apollonia 6.
That's your boy.
AJJ132 says Apollonia 6. We coordinated. Me and
Interesting.
Ricky. Yeah, exactly, Ricky. Musically A6.
Really?
Yeah. Uh-huh. And let's see. Oh, Blake Brown was that. Nope.
Come
We
on,
got
you got glamorous life.
JD is also agreeing with you.
The strawberry shortcake. What's it?
We got Keith Upchurch saying glamorous life all day. We got Patricia saying Sheila. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're not bad at that. Either way, they both works. But come on now.
You guys are sleeping on Apollonia 6 album. That's all I gotta see. See, yes, Michael wanna be starting something.
Oliver's House.
I've never been a big fan.
Oh,
of
really? Okay.
Oliver's House. Nope. Yes, Apollonia 6 also had the inner sleeve posters. Michael Dean.
Well, okay, yeah.
And then the first band had nothing but legends with Morris Day. So for those of you who don't know, because we're doing this for the newbies, let me open up my copy here. I haven't pulled this out in a while because I've digitized it. But for everybody, hold on. I got something else in here too. I wonder what it is. What is it? I forgot about this. Okay, I'm gonna go full screen. We're taking a bit of intermission. So this is the inner sleeve of the Apollonia 6 album, and it has all of the lyrics A-B side on the side here. This is like the insert. So it came with an insert. And it also had, look at this sleeve. I love this. You got Susan, you got apples on sleeve. And since we just got it all hanging out today, we got the Warner Brothers record with the Apollonia 6 logo on there. Oop, there you go. Up, the light is strong. And then Brenda is on the back. See, Brenda is on the back. Is Apollonia on the back? Brenda is on the back, a la Brenda 6. That's all I'm going to say.
She's on the back, though.
No, but on the album, like, who pulls out? Like,
oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Yes,
No
Preston.
doubt.
This is my original copy, 1984, all day, every day.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, that's your original copy?
Yes, that's my
Then
original.
you didn't really play it that heavy. Wait, whoa.
Because I digitized. No, it's actually
that thing's supposed to be worn out.
It is worn out. You just can't tell. It got like, my corners are not tight. Like this would not get a VG rating on Discogs. And also,
I don't see no creases. All right.
No, it got like wrinkles and stuff. You just can't tell. I actually handle my vinyl really with love, even as a teenager.
You know, she bought them on record store day. It's all right though. You're right.
No, I did not, because this has not been re-released. It hasn't been re-released.
A little bootleg from overseas. That's okay.
No, this is my original copy. Because actually, you can tell. Look, I'll show you that. See?
Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's a little hole. Okay, there you go. That's official right there. There you go.
Michael trying to make me be a liar. Look at you trying to start mess. I can't believe. But it is 40 years old because I bought it in 1984. Thank you, Randy. I'm glad that you're getting a kick out of this.
You're a true blue. You're day one. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't eat. Didn't you read my essay? I didn't eat for seriously, I did not eat for all 5 years of high school. I took my lunch money and saved it to buy this vinyl and all the 12 inches. And I didn't tell my mama. And she thought I was getting it from boys, but I just didn't eat. So That's how I
Damn,
got my records.
that's hardcore.
Is Lunch Money Records that you're seeing right there.
Welcome to the new power generation for me. I know you're hungry, but you got the funk. Lord.
Yeah, and Ricky can like verify for me. All right. So speaking of Ricky, we're gonna bring Ricky on. So I'm gonna send you the link eventually. But before we get to there, I wanted to just say a couple things about Take Me With You. Oh no, what happened? Here we go. Okay, I keep hitting something and it goes somewhere. All right. So Zach Hoskins,
Mm.
who is one of my favorite writers. I love Zach's writing, has a lot of Apollonia 6 articles on his DMSR blog, Dance Music Sex Romance blog. He goes into a lot of detail. So if you want additional information about Take Me With You, definitely go to Zach's blog. If you go to the homepage of our book club website, and you can access the slideshow. If you click on any of these links, it will take you directly to that article on Zach's site. And I really want to give a massive shout out as much as I can to Prince Vault, which is my Bible. I use it almost every day. And obviously the other Bible. But speaking of Bible, just so you guys can, I'll since I'm sharing stuff today, I'll show you what my mom gave me for Christmas, which is this beautiful purple Bible. I love it so. All right, so I do have a real Bible, and I don't want to be blasphemous. And so, with Take Me With You, we want to talk about the recording personnel. So let's remember that Prince did all the vocals and instruments except where noted. And we got Bobby Z on drums and percussion, Brown Mark, bass guitar and vocals, Wendy on guitars and vocals, Lisa, keyboards and vocals, Dr. Fink on keyboards and vocals, David Coleman, cello, Novi Navag, violin and viola, Susie Katayama, cello and apples, vocals, and Prince for that matter. All right. Yes. Okay. Now we are going to go to Michael Dean's favorite song. So I'm going to let Michael Dean read about Some Kind of Lover. So we're going to go to page 249. That's where we're going to go.
All right. Wednesday, February 1st. Some Kind of Lover listed as tricky. I wonder if they were just using some old Prince or time sheets or something. Anyway, Sunset Sound, right? Studio 2, 7 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. Booked 7 p.m. open. Although producer was Prince, although Morris Day was listed, artist Apollonia 6, although the time was listed, engineer Prince, assistant engineer Peggy Mack. Quote from Prince: each band brings different songs out of me. The basic tracks for Some Kind of Lover were created by Prince, but the actual idea was inspired by Apollonia 6 singer Brenda Bennett and her relationship with her husband Roy. Prince and I both wrote it. I submitted it to him and he kept 99% of it. At the time, we had a perfect marriage. The people that knew us knew we had a great marriage. I felt like people put us on a pedestal as an example of working together and being around each other and getting along very well. No vocals by Prince or anyone in Apollonia 6 were recorded on this date. A quick mix of the instrumental was created and placed on 3 cassettes. Status, Some Kind of Lover, 4 minutes and 7 seconds, was the 6th track on the Apollonia 6 album and was attached to a skit involving the 3 group members. The track was also released as a B-side for Blue Limousine.
Blue Limousine. So I love this question from Lunch with Prince, Michael D'Angelo. Would you rather hear originals for the Apollonia 6 or Glamorous Life album?
My quick answer would be Glamorous Life, but I think if I heard the Apollonia songs in Prince's version, I would probably fall in love with those super heavy. And it's probably spend a little more time listening to those than I have the Glamorous Life stuff. So I would probably say Apollonia 6.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I would want the Apollonia 6 ones only because I listen to it more but I really appreciate the question. And Chris Bournet is saying, excuse me, Some Kind of Lover is an amazing song, but it sounds totally different from everything else on the album, like a ballad
Mm.
from the 70s. It
Hmm.
doesn't feel out of place to me, but it might be I've just listened to the albums for so long as an album that it just fits for me. I don't remember what my initial reaction was. Um,
It was the song that jumped out to me.
yeah.
Like I knew Sex Shooter, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I heard that." But when I heard that, I was like, "Oh, this is my shit." I just immediately fell in love with it, and I'm gonna keeping it quite honest. This is no disrespect to Brendan. It's the voices that don't necessarily work for me a little bit. I've grown to love them, but I'm not just something about the way she sings it doesn't necessarily work for me all the way. But
Mhm.
not to say I'm not saying she's a bad singer or something. Just
Yeah.
to hear somebody else singing that. But other than that, top notch.
Yeah. So actually, I was going to bring this up later, but this is coming up that Keith says, yeah, Prince kills it on the drums on Some Kind of Lover. So I
Mm.
just really want to pull up the Prince Vault again. We love Prince Vault. Brenda is singing lead vocals, Prince on all instruments, Apple's on backing vocals. And I actually like some of Apple's backing vocals on some of the songs, and Lisa Coleman. So this song is essentially all Prince. Just think
Mm.
about that. All Prince. The
That's
drums, the
why I
bass,
like
everything is Prince, which is pretty amazing.
it. Has that feel to it that I immediately just like, oh, I feel it's in the pocket and it's in that Prince pocket. It's kind of still right behind, with a little bit behind the beat, but just enough. So yeah.
Yeah. And I love this comment from Lee Christian. Judging by what we heard so far, originals wise, Makeup was the big find for me. That was my track too, Lee Christian. So that tracks I already love, the Sheila tracks and Sex Shooter before I heard it. So I think, yeah, because at least I hadn't heard Prince's version of Makeup before originals came out. So it really hit for me. And it's one of my favorite songs because I actually love Susan's songs on both Vanity 6 and Apollonia 6, and I wonder if there are any other Susan songs in the vault because I would love to hear them. Because I find that Prince left the quirky songs for Susan, like just musically they were quirky, lyrically they were quirky, and I love that quirk. What's up, Ricky?
Hello, everyone.
What's up, sir?
I can't call it.
I can't
call it. But I will say what D'Angela said about saving to her lunch money was very true. I witnessed that. Very true.
Yes.
Come in with receipts.
Yes.
Very true. Very true.
So,
I used to worry about homegirl sometimes. Like, yo, you don't want an ice cream sandwich or something? She'd be like, nah, I'm good.
Wow.
Hey, look, she said her mom thought that guys were buying her the records. I thought she was just loaded with money because she always had the stuff.
nope. We were far from loaded. We had for years, every single day, chicken and rice, chicken and rice, chicken and rice.
Man, look, she's saving lunch money. So I'm out there doing yard work, slaving to earn money, cutting grass, raking leaves to get my albums in 45s. I thought she was just coasting in with the loot. Like, man,
Nope.
I always had this stuff.
Nope. I did not eat every single day.
And she had the high quality Maxell tapes too, boy.
Yeah.
High quality 90-minute Maxell tapes.
That's funny. Priorities. Rents or food.
Let me get that 4-pack of them C90.
Yeah.
Bias joints.
Indeed. I love Chris's comments. Susan's songs do sound offbeat, like a cross between punk and new wave. Thank you so much for that.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Uh-huh.
So which do you like better? Drive Me Wild or Ushi Chihuahua?
Definitely Drive Me Wild. Only because of the 12-inch, right? But I love ooh, Chihuahua. I'm the one that do ooh. I love that. I like and I love how it speeds up. My name
Yeah.
is Susan, and I'm a Uz like, I love that. I could like, I love that song. I love all the Susan songs. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'm all about ooh wee chihuahua. Yep, but I if I had to take one to a desert island, it would definitely be Drive Me Wild. Even though I can sing ooh wee chihuahua, I would probably be, like, doing it from memory or whatever. So I'm really glad that Patricia understands Mr. Food. Patricia gets it. And yeah, Tommy is with me. That grew with the guitar. Exactly. Yes, Kim. Prince music is food. Yep. I love that. And we got to give a shout out to my mom for my purple Bible, which I absolutely love. Um, let's see. I think I might have missed something, but that's okay. You have to. This
Mike, what's your favorite between the two?
Drive Me Wild.
Oh, Giant- Okay.
It was the 12 inch.
Yeah, man, they got a lot of play in like those '80s teen movies. I think
Huh.
it was Private School. I think they play Drive Me
Private
Wild, or is it Nasty Girls? It's one of those, teen angst movies from like the '80s, Private School or something like that.
hmm,
Wow, yeah, I forgot about that. You would hear some of those songs in those movies.
Yeah,
yeah.
because I think Beverly Hills Cop plays what Nasty Girl in like one of the
Mhm.
scenes when he walks. When I think they're in a strip club or something like that.
I used to rewind that over and over. Oh, it had a Prince song in it, and it was in the strip club, and it was funny. Yeah, play it over and over.
Classic, makings for a hit scene.
And just to tie it in real quick, we gotta say salute to our brother. I call Carl Weathers. I was gonna say I
Oh
call him
yeah,
Carl Weathers as if his name was Apollo Creed, but
yeah, yeah.
yeah, salute to Carl Weathers, man.
Yeah,
He ties in that vanity.
yeah, with
Oh, definitely.
Mhm.
with Action
Jackson
Jackson.
Jackson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Mm.
All
But
right.
yes,
So, Michael Dean, if it's okay with you, do you mind reading the next, which is still about some kind of lover Thursday?
all right. All right. I mean, some kind of lover. He's in the studio the next day from 4 p.m. 2 a.m. booked and locked out. Producer Prince, artist Apollonia 6, engineer Prince, assistant engineer Peggy Mack. Quote from Brenda: he had the music done when I recorded the lyrics, and I remember him saying, "Here you go, this is yours." The session started out with Prince inviting Bennett back to Sunset Sound to record her part. I remember him playing the track and not having a guide track, she recalls. He kind of sang it, he kind of sang it in the studio to give me an idea, melody wise, for the lyrics. And I said, okay, I can do it. I can do it. While Bennett sang her part, Prince was playing bass. By the end of the track, Prince pushed her to make it even more sensual with her words and moans, and she gave what is probably her sexiest performance. But it is obvious that she was a little shy about it when she added her very honest assessment. I'm embarrassed at the end of the track. After I got done with my vocals, she remembers, he got up and he was like, God damn, Brenda, because I put so much of me into this song. 7 hours was spent recording vocals. Prince added his vocal to tracks 11 and 12, and he teamed up on the background harmonies of Brenda and Lisa on tracks 13, 14, and 15. Susanna Melvo was enlisted as well. He came right out and said, "You feel like you want to sing?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course I do." The list of people Prince relied on to sing background vocals was short, and Melvon would quickly become a fixture in the studio, with Prince adding her sounds to many of the tracks on almost every one of his projects for the next several years. Damn. She recalls the routine with her phone. Excuse me. She recalls the routine when her phone would ring at 3 o'clock in the morning. He'd call in the middle of the night and say, "I'm cutting. What you doing? I'm cutting." And he'd say, "It's 3 in the morning." And so you would say, "It's 3 in the morning. I'm cutting. I don't know what you're doing." And that was literally the sign that you're missing out on all the good stuff. And you're a loser if you don't get your ass down here. I'm cutting. What are you doing? Sleeping? Sleep is for dead people. And you can go down and you'd go down to the studio. 3 hours were spent mixing the track. and a single cassette copy was made at the end of the session. Woo! I'm
Well,
cutting.
I'm cutting. I'm
I'm
cutting.
cutting. I'm gonna start calling. Yo, man, I'm cutting.
Cutting.
What you
What
doing?
you doing?
I'm
I'm
cutting.
cutting. Yeah.
That can have a couple different meanings for some people, but 3 in the morning, I'm cutting. Come on.
Yeah. So I didn't know that Carl Weathers just passed until now. So thank you for everyone. I mean, because I've been off of social media, I'm trying to stay away as much as I can. So unfortunately, Carl Weathers passed on February 1st at 76. And I think today would be a great day to watch Action Jackson.
Jackson. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I really would.
So
And
please let us know what it's streaming on. It's
well, I have a DVD, so
fancy. Does it come with special features?
I don't think so. I haven't watched it in a while. I don't think so. I don't remember any special features.
Hey,
But
didn't Jesse do vanity songs on that? Like
yes,
Jesse did some
Yeah,
songs for
yeah.
yes,
him.
yes. Faraway Eyes
Mhm.
was one of them, and I'm blanking on
What's the song? Can you touch me?
Yeah.
yeah,
Undress me.
Undress Me. That's the song. I love that song. In fact, I really wish that Jesse would have produced some of Vanity's solo records
Mm.
because
Yeah, clearly he had a knack for a sound.
yeah, definitely. Because I think Undress Me is probably the best Vanity track. There are others on her solo record, particularly the first one, Wild Animal. I really love. But I love Skin on Skin.
Mechanical Emotion?
Yeah, with
Yours?
E Day. Yeah. Yes. All right. So, yes, that's what I'm talking about, Vanessa, buying the soundtrack just for Undress.
Mm.
All right. And I love this comment from Patricia. No one in their right mind would pass on I'm cutting.
Shh.
Right?
Yeah.
You would think that. You
Yeah.
would think.
I'm cutting.
All right. So, Ricky, do you happen to have your book with you?
Yes, I do. I come to class prepared.
Oh, look at you.
I'm saying, may come late, but I'm prepared.
All
Hey,
right.
y'all not gonna make an example out of me. Put me in detention.
So,
Not gonna put the
if you
Prince
don't
dunce cap on me. No, no, no.
if you don't mind reading about A Million Miles and a Spanish Pillow for Friday, February the 3rd, page 251 in the NIV version.
Oh, okay. Well, mine is not the NIV version, but
It's okay.
version. It's like okay. Million Miles, I Love You, basic tracking. Spanish Villa, basic tracking. Sunset Sound, Studio 2, 1:30 p.m. to 4:30 a.m. Woo-wee. Producer Prince, artist Abalone 6, engineer Prince, assistant engineer Peggy Mack. Quote, sometimes ideas are coming so fast that I have to stop doing one song to get to another. But I don't forget the first one. If it works, it will always be there. It's like the truth. It will find you and lift you up. And if it ain't right, it will dissolve like sand on the beach. Prince. Creating a new song every day can be draining, so Prince constantly relied on those around him for inspiration. I try to let other people influence me, other musicians, Prince explained in a 2004 interview with CNN. He says, musicians that are in my groups, not the ones that are looking to start trends or that I see on TV, but just people that I meet that move me spiritually. He says today's session began as a jam with Wendy Melvoin, Lisa Coleman, and Sheila E. Sheila was around a lot, according to Peggy McCrary. She was a lot of fun. He'd be working on something, and she'd be out playing drums, and he'd say, "Put some tape up to record." As Lisa sat behind the piano, Prince said, "Give me a groove." She created the signature riff in A Million Miles on the spot. When the song was tracked, Prince played bass, yay, while standing at the soundboard. Coleman was on keyboards, Melvoin was on guitar, and Sheila was playing drums. Using his falsetto, Prince recorded a scratch track so the singer would have a reference. A Million Miles I Love You was another track that was directly influenced by Brenda Bennett. This was such a hot number, Prince gave me the impression that it was written for me. This came from the fact that I always wore my wedding ring. There's a line about my diamond ring, and there had been a conversation say between Prince and I about my ring. At the time, Prince wasn't touring, and Roy Bennett was on the road with the Scorpions. The song tried to reflect the distance and between the two lovers. Apollonia was in the studio for the rehearsals, the initial tracking, and Prince vocals. The earliest version of the song began with the same drum beat, followed by Prince purring "yeah" and some oohs. Actually goes "yeah" and some oohs that were later discarded. Want me to keep going or?
I think you're muted.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh no, keep going. Okay. Uh, once Prince finished recording to the main vocals, he had Apollonia and Brenda Bennett and replace his vocals with their own for much of the song. On the chorus, you can hear Prince that remembers Bennett. If you put your headphones, you can hear him because he puts his voice right on there to show Apollonia how he wanted her to do the background vocals. Another song that was tracked on this date in Spanish Villa. In need of inspiration, Prince involved Apollonia once again as his muse, allowing her to create a romantic storyline for the track. Prince recorded the Carlos Santana inspired lead guitar. Melvoin played rhythm guitar, and with the studio light turned down, Apollonia recorded the spoken lyrics. The track was excuse me. I'm sorry. So the track was completed in very few takes. It was the sort of song that Vanity Six would never have attempted. Subtle and slightly romantic, with no danceable groove anywhere to be found. It was different than anything he'd ever recorded, and is a hidden gem that most people would never imagine was Prince. 6 hours was spent mixing and editing the tracks. Sound effects, including waves, were added. It is unclear if that occurred during this session or on a later date. The songs were dubbed to like cassette tape, and the session was over at 4:30 a.m. A Million Miles I Love You 5:52 was edited down to 3:11 and faded out just before Somebody Clap Your Hands chant, but the shorter version remains unreleased. The complete version was issued as the fourth track on the Apollonia 6 album. In a Spanish Villa 215 was a closing track on the album and was also released as a B-side of the Sex Shooter single.
All right. So much I want to say. Well, in the NIV version, the one thing I do want to read, and also I saw somebody ask in the chat, where is that? I don't see it. Was like, oh, Byron B. Yeah, we're reading So this is we read on a weekly basis. This is technically a book club, so this is what we're actually reading, and we have a schedule that you can actually see on the book club website. But you can go there, bookclub.polyside.com. We actually have scheduled readings, and we're going week by week. So if you missed the beginning of just go to any of them and you can see what we're doing on a weekly basis. But this is what we're reading. All right. So in the NIV version, I just want to read one paragraph, even though there was 2 paragraphs before Ricky started reading. And Dwayne starts the NIV version with, today's session began as a jam with Wendy, Lisa, and Sheila E. Sheila was around a lot, according to Peggy McCreary. She was a lot of fun. He'd be working on something and she'd be out playing drums, and he'd say, put some tape up to record. All right. So let's make sure we're together. One thing is, it's painful, Michael, for me to see that we got a cut. It was originally 6 minutes and 50 seconds. I want that minute.
You and me both.
Yeah.
You and me both.
Yeah. And I am so happy, though, that they at least kept the somebody clap their hands. What if they would have like cut that like they did Computer Blue? We would have never known the magic.
Now in there is on YouTube the Prince rough vocal version floating around.
Yeah, I have it actually in the playlist for this week. If you want to hear Prince's version, which I can't believe I'm about to say this. Oh, he sings it in a very high register, and unlike the songs on originals, with the exception of maybe one, but I don't know. It just seems like he was really trying to, and I think it was because he was cramming so many new songs that he really didn't sing it. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
it felt like he was just really doing it to give a vocal guide,
Yeah.
which I don't get with some of the other original songs. Like he was really singing those songs. You know what I mean?
Hopefully they include this on like the originals too.
I would
Putting
like,
it in the atmosphere. Putting it in the atmosphere.
Right.
you got to send that bat signal. That's right.
Putting it in the atmosphere. But I I remember hearing his version like when they first dropped it on YouTube and being floored, and that just made me love the song even more. I was like, man, that was it. It was just a jam of a song. I'm surprised that he never brought it back out live. But if he wrote it for Brenda, like I guess specifically for her, then I can understand that. But that song cranks.
Yeah, yeah. So, where can we find the playlist? So every episode, I have an accompanying playlist of music that you can find on my YouTube channel. And my YouTube is at Polished Solid. So if you go to the bottom of the page, there's an accompanying list, music list. Since last year, I can't remember when I started because someone suggested it. So that's where you can find the playlist. All right. Next up, well, actually, before we get to next up, again, Zach Hoskins writes about Million Miles, I Love You. So definitely check it out for additional information. Let's talk about Million Miles again in terms of who's on this brilliant song, in my opinion. Brenda Bennett, lead vocals, Apples, backing vocals, Susan, backing vocals, Prince, all instruments except for Sheila E. Shayla on drums and percussion, Lisa Coleman on keyboards, and Wendy Melvoin on guitar.
Hey, where can we find Zach's article?
It is on his it's on his blog, DMSR, but if you go to the book club website on the homepage and you go all the way to the bottom where the slideshow is, you can look at the slideshow, and if you click on any of the images, it will take you directly to all the stuff that's in the slideshow. So I take the time. I don't know if anybody's using it, but I actually do take the time. If you use it, you can get all the extra information.
And you put a lot of time into the syllabus.
Yes, I do. I do put a lot of time into the
This
syllabus.
ain't no agenda. This is a class syllabus.
Yeah. So you could get, do more research. Okay. And then we also talked about In a Spanish Villa. And again, this is Zach's article about it. Again, brilliant in my personal opinion. Let's look at us In a Spanish Villa. Recording personnel, Apollonia vocals, Prince, all other instruments. Now, I want to take a moment to talk about why Apollonia 6 album is important, because most of these songs are Prince on all the instrumentation, with the exception of what we've been talking about, A Million Miles. But anything that Prince touched, in my personal opinion, should get remastered and re-released, and Apollonia 6 is no exception. And I'm going to get off my soapbox.
Has anyone ever translated Spanish Villa? Like, what is she talking about? I've never.
Actually, Zach does in the article.
In the article? Okay, cool.
That's why you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about to go do some research.
Yes. Yep. And I also have the 12-inch blue limousine. I don't think I have it right on me. It might be in the other room, but yep, I got it.
Like this is the only part of '84 that I don't have on CD. Is only 6. I have all the others on CD
because it only came out as a Japanese CD,
and it's probably about $165 now.
It is now, but I bought it back then.
Lucky boy, I told you, Mike.
Money.
She was an adult saving lunch money then.
Yeah. Lunch money can do things. It adds up, that $1.25. My mom literally gave me $5 a week. That's all she gave me. $5.
A lot of money back then, though.
But $5 was a 12-inch, Michael Dean.
Yeah, $5 was a 12-inch. $2 was a 45.
Why 12 inches were $2.99?
Well, it depended on it. Like it was $2.99, some were $3.99. Then you got to do your tax. It was $5.
Bus fare to get there, Marta, was about 60.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was.
Yeah, and then the albums back then were $7.99 and $8.99. So I just didn't have to eat for 2 weeks, and I had the money for my albums.
Now, so you bought most of your stuff from Wax and Facts, right?
Yeah,
Not
well, actually, mostly from turtles and peaches.
peaches.
You
Okay.
remember peaches? Yeah,
Yes, I
turtles
do.
and peaches. And 84 in particular was really hard for someone who didn't have a lot of money,
Mm.
was a collector, because stuff was coming out like water. It was just pouring out.
You
So
had to get it.
you had to get it. Like the purple vinyl, the 7-inch, this, the Windows Cry, that we talked about earlier. So we got not only just Purple Rain and all the singles, the 7 inches and the 12 inches. You got your Apollonia 6, you got your Sheila E's, you got your Ice Cream Castle in the
Hmm.
summertime. So it was like really, really stressful.
It's funny you say that because I kind of remember if like you knew somebody that had it, it was like a big deal, or like if somebody knew you had it, it was a big deal. It's like you have that,
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
you
Yeah.
have that on 12-inch, you have that album.
Mm, mhm.
All right, so we are finally at Saturday with Manic Monday. And Michael Dane, do you want me to read it or do you want to read about Manic Monday?
You got it.
Okay, I got it. All right, so I got
Ain't all right.
it. Yes, thank you. I love Prince fans. Manic Monday, basic tracking, Prince vocal, Sunset Sound Studio 2, 1 p.m., 1 a.m., booked, locked out. Producer Prince, artist Apollonia 6, engineer Prince, assistant engineer Peggy Mac McCreary. 6 o'clock already. I was just in the middle of a dream.
Mhm.
Lyrics from Manic Monday. And why isn't Prince in the Songwriters Hall of Fame? I think about that a lot lately. Some brilliant lines, and that is one of them. Some very descriptive lines. It reminds me a lot of his songwriting for Raspberry Beret because it's just so descriptive. All right, few people understand how big a glimpse the opening phrase of today's song exposed Prince's thought process. Peggy McCreary recalls that this track began shortly after the previous day's session ended. I remember going to bed at 6 in the morning, and he called and said, "Can you be at the studio at noon?" Let's do the math. Just got home,
Mhm.
went to the bed at 6 in the morning. It takes a while to go to sleep. And he said, "Can you be at the studio at noon?" Because he had dreamed the song. He said if he dreamed the chorus, he'd call me, and he did, and it was Manic Monday. It is easy to see how Prince created this track because he lifts the melody from his earlier track, 1999. Compare the opening lines. 6 o'clock already. I was just in the middle of a dream. I was dreaming when I wrote this. Forgive me if it goes astray. Um, yeah, it kind of starts, but then it's an alternate. Okay. Even if he ended up being his own muse, Prince was still able to bring something inventive to the song. That was the secret to his music, reveals McCreary. He would come in, it was written, it was recorded, and it was done, and it was mixed all within the same period. On occasion, it was taken down and remixed later, but it was almost always born right there. And that is why it was so fresh. He was so prolific at that time. So prolific. I wish I could, like, I don't know, have a sound effect, just make it like prolific, 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 prolific. In many ways, Prince was a master of technique and he was open to experimenting with technology. For his music, he enjoyed creating new colors with the sounds he discovered. And although he was not truly technical, he enjoyed working with keyboards and pre programmed keyboard sounds, also referred to as patches, trying to find something different. And this is a Prince quote in bold. "I don't ever read manuals. I don't want to have a preconception about what a piece of gear should or shouldn't do." I
Mm.
really love this sentence here, and I try to tell my students this all of the time. Like sometimes it's better not to know how to do something so that you can put your own spin on it and create your own workflow, because it's not a right way sometimes, especially when it comes to creativity. And Princess, I just start using it. I start pushing buttons and I discover the song that I can make with it. Sometimes a particular sound will give me a whole song, like the harpsichord sound on Manic Monday. That sound just dictated the part. This
Mm.
is a quote from Prince that I think we should really reread and reread a lot because In other things that we've read, it's been noted that Prince really didn't change the sound of those patches because,
Mhm.
like in today's world, it's about getting a new sound. But Prince made magic with just like the default patches, which is crazy to think about, you know. So, and then he
I
gets
wanna
this.
come back to this. Imma let you finish reading, but I wanna add something to that.
Okay, that sounds like Prince, yeah, reflects Mike Closter, his or Closter, I think it's Closter, but I might be wrong. His assistant engineer during this period. This is him, Mike talking. He was really one of those believers who felt that anything that happened was fate. God wanted it to happen that way. Like if he showed up and we weren't done aligning the tape machine, then he'd say, well, that's the way it's supposed to be then. Let's record. He had that attitude. Although she was very tired, McCreary looks back fondly on this date. It was actually a great day, Peggy says, and he was in a really great mood. I was exhausted, but it was a fun day, and we went until 1 in the morning. It was a 12-hour day, just the two of us. After a quick 1 hour mix, the session ended a little early, at least by Prince's usual standards. He wanted the girls to record their vocals that night, but couldn't convince Susan Muncie and Apollonia to drop by the studio. They told him they were tired, but instead went out dancing at a local club called Voila.
Girl, we cutting.
Say it again, Mike. Say it again, Mike.
We cutting. Don't you wanna be a star? I do. No?
Yeah, he really did want to be a star.
Yeah, so this can sing and dance.
Yes. So I looked. I know I still have a little bit more to read, and this actually relates to Manic Monday. So post Prince, the estate put out that Manic Monday video of for during originals with Prince rehearsing, and I watched it this morning. And I almost cried because it's just like you can see the dedication he had, to perfecting those dance moves, getting the band to do the moves, and he wanted to be a star. You could really tell that he was putting in the work. So that actually, this reading this line and that comment you just made really resonates with me. All right. So, but Prince eventually tracked them down and spent the rest of the evening dancing with them.
Uh-oh.
He told them.
Uh-oh.
I won't say something. I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it. He told them about the track and invited them to join him in the studio the following day for vocals. Now, I will say this. I wonder if he was tracking down like a Brown Mark or Bobby Z if the same thing would have transpired. But that's just me. Okay, status. Manic Monday, 2 minutes and 49 seconds was considered for the Apollonia 6 album. Let me reread that one more time for the newbies. Manic Monday, 2 minutes and 49 seconds was considered for the Apollonia 6 album and was placed in an early configuration. I got receipts today. We're going to see that. But it was ultimately removed and replaced by Lee Christian's Happy Birthday, Mr. Christian.
File on the play. Flag on the play.
And the song was later re-recorded by the Bangles, and their cover would hit number 2 on the Billboard Pop chart in January of 1986. The only song above it on the charts that week was, drumroll, Prince's Kiss at number 1. Aligning a tape deck is a multi-step process and involves verifying that anything recorded in this deck will match the specifications of another deck. It can involve adjusting the speed, calibrating the recording tones and playback levels, cleaning the tape heads, and demagnetizing them if necessary, among other things. So, Michael Dean, what did you want to say?
Oh, just going to the part back where he was talking about, not reading the manuals and, just doing it on your own. I just think that really speaks to a lot of our producers, particularly moving forward from that, when you really get the drum machines and the samplers and all that stuff. Like Cats wasn't reading the manuals. You would just create dope shit. It was like you had to figure it out, or maybe somebody gave you some game, like, oh, this is how you do it. But I love, like, Prince was like, yeah, I'm not trying to sound like how how I would probably sound if I was to study this, in terms of having them tell me how to operate the machine. Let me come with my dopeness. Like, it don't matter what the machine is. I'm gonna put my stamp on it. So in the same way, when you say he doesn't even have to change the stock sounds, well, because we're dope. Like it don't matter what you give us. We gonna come up with some stuff that you ain't
Yeah,
you would have never thought. That was the whole point of like freaking it. Like, oh, you did that with that. Oh, you a cold boy. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole. To me, that's like from music cats when we used to do stuff. That was the point of it. Like you were supposed to take something that they couldn't even touch, and we flipped it into something. To me, that's what hip hop is. Like,
yeah,
oh well, shit, we gonna take these right. We're gonna make something dope,
yeah,
no matter what the case. To me, I would say take what he just said right there and apply it to everybody scared of AI. Like,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean,
you might not be able to freak it, but we're gonna take it and make something dope with it.
yeah,
Damn what, oh, it's gonna take away this or hey man, it's a tool to us. So the same way like you can take a drum machine, well, does that threaten the drummer? Yeah, but we're gonna make something dope out. Like
yeah,
I'm gonna freak it. So that's all I wanted to add. Like I love Prince was doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like he could take whatever was stock and flip it and make it dope.
yeah.
That
Man,
was
he probably just having seen those manuals because those manuals were kind of big back then, and they were very tedious and very specific. But once you get the gist of how to turn it on,
because
program,
you felt it. Like you may not even knew how to oh, I hear I could do this with it. I can already see let me do this real quick. And
yeah,
somebody would have taught you, well, actually, if you do it this way first,
yeah,
it'll
'cause they were,
probably threw your whole thing off. Like,
yeah.
man,
I know
you
those
know,
things were, I know were very precise. This does this. This means this.
mhm,
This means that. But once you got to just the gist of how can I make this and then connect that to it, that was pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
yeah,
pretty much what everybody did. And so I'm sure he probably did the same thing. How you turn it on and how I get started. Okay.
exactly.
Bet.
I'm gonna make
I
it
don't,
bend to my will,
yeah, like
not to its.
I don't
Mm,
need to know what the mono knob does or what the triple knob does. I know I'll figure that out.
and then we make the technology cat. They retool it to fit what we want to do with it, what
Yeah,
we've been doing with it. Oh, the NPC, okay. Oh, they want to do this with it. Let's add that in because they see that's what they're trying to do. Or the same way, like Prince was like, I can make my own instruments, or
yeah.
we're gonna do it this way. So I don't know if we lost D'Angela, but yeah, goddamn, we talking about. Mhm.
I wanted to give you guys the stage. I'm still here.
I'm still curious. I mean, I hate that Manic Monday was dropped for happy birthday, Mr. Christian. But in the long run,
Really? I mean,
I mean, the Bengals got it to a bit broader audience.
yeah.
Exactly.
I mean,
So,
so
but
I think in the playlist I have a version of Manic. I actually do have the demo. Well, it's not really Princess and Apollonia's version of Manic Monday, and I don't think it would have fit on the album. I know, like Michael, you were talking about some kind of lover. Doesn't kind of
Mm,
stand out, but I think Manic Monday would have really stood out on the Apollonia 6 album. So I'm glad that the Bengals got it. And like you said, Ricky, they probably took it to a level, like sometimes the songs that Prince wrote for others got farther than,
hmm
than
and I think too, ain't no way if they would have kept that in the Prince camp, ain't no way they would have promoted that song to it to be over Prince.
mm,
That
yeah,
wasn't gonna happen.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, not in
It ain't
'84.
gonna happen.
Yeah,
I don't think there was any of these songs from this particular era of all these albums that were on Prince associated groups that were ever gonna chart past Prince's music.
yeah.
It, he
Not in
wasn't they
'84.
ain't gonna let that happen.
Yeah,
So
not.
I'm glad that them songs went to other people because yeah, their label was behind that song
yeah,
and can push that, and they already had some momentum. But I just don't see them promoting those Apollonia songs to the point where they would have been promoting that higher than Prince's stuff.
right.
I
They just-
don't think that would have been a single either. It
Yeah,
could have been, but I doubt they would have put that out because that didn't fit the image and the aesthetic of the Purple Rain image at that time. Like Sex Shooter fit because it was in the movie. It was like, oh, cool. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Manic Monday didn't fit any any part of the movie or anything like that or whatever. So
yeah. I
Now
re-
that I think about it real quick, I
mhm.
was thinking, well, what other song really blew up from that era? was Glamorous Life,
Jungle
but
Love.
it was, but it, well, I mean, Jungle, but I'm talking about like
Not in the movie.
it wasn't. It almost like you didn't even know Prince had anything to do with that
Mm.
necessarily. They never really promoted
Yeah.
it was a Prince camp, and I could kind of see why. Like he ain't gonna have nothing. I'm only starting this.
I think also, I mean, he didn't, I don't know if he intentionally did this or maybe he was getting pushed back from the record label, but he didn't want to glut the market. You know what I mean? Like he didn't want to have a perception of glutting the market, or maybe, I don't know.
Well, he couldn't help it in fall 84 from like July to like December. The floodgates were open. It was just
I mean, he was,
saturation.
I would feel for you, Shaka
Mhm.
Khan, but it was like, but it wasn't through his thing. Like,
No.
let that be number one, but it ain't because they taking away promotion to do from his stuff to do hers. It was like that just kind of organically blew up.
Yeah, indeed. All right. So again, Zach writes about Manic Monday. If you want additional context, yeah, Zach, yeah.
Zach is on
And
the road.
you can see on Prince Vault that there are essentially 3 versions. We got the Bangles version. I'm not going to go through that. On the Apollonia 6 version, you have Apollonia vocals, Prince vocals, and all instruments, Brenda Bennett, background vocals, Jill Jones, background vocals, and then the Prince version on originals, we have Prince vocals and all instruments, Jill Jones, background vocals, Brenda Bennett, background vocals. And someone out on the interwebs has, I think it was in an auction, you can actually see where Manic Monday was actually, it was a test pressing for the album cover. So if you, and I blew it up on the top right-hand corner. So if you look at that, you'll see that side 1 was going to be Sex Shooter, Blue Limousine, Manic Monday. And then the side 2 is essentially the same because underneath it, I have what the release track listing was. We got 7 minutes and 6 seconds of Happy Birthday, Mr. Christian. I love Happy Birthday, Mr. Christian, so I don't mind. And I really don't think that Manic Monday would have fit on this album. What I do find interesting about the vinyl track listing is that they didn't lead with Sex Shooter because it seems like they would have led with Sex Shooter. That's my personal opinion. How do you guys feel about that? Like to lead or not to lead with?
I would, I would feel like you would lead with Sex Shooter.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come right out the gate. These almost look like, to me, the track listing just reminds me of like the time template or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this. Yeah, like that's not a song that you put last
Yeah.
for an album, but and being that it's a self-titled album, yeah, you can put that first. I mean, because that's what everyone was kind of familiar with them with. So
Yeah. And the thing is, like with the Vanity 6 record, it led with Nasty Girl. So it seems like they would have also led with Sex Shooter.
You know, just quick, Manic Monday, I could see it being on their album in the same way melodically of Ice Cream Castles. Like if you're trying to kind of give off that kind of whimsical kind of
Mm-hmm.
pop vibe, I could see how that, I could see the thought process of having them kind of similar like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost wouldn't expect either one of those bands to have that type of song
Yeah.
because
So,
they're not portrayed that way in the movie. It's just a hard funk
mm-hmm.
type of presence.
And like piggybacking off of that, I forgot to put this up, or maybe I did, or we didn't talk about it. But Lee Christian's comment about Manic Monday and Take Me With You fitting together nicely, which makes me think the original idea for that album was a bit different. I love that comment.
I can see that.
Yeah, but I'm happy that Take Me With You isn't on the Apollonia 6 album, and I'm also happy that Manic Monday is for all the reasons we just discussed. Let's see.
It's crazy that, I mean, all of these albums are fire though. Like,
Yeah, they are.
all from this period. It's like so much good material.
Yeah, I mean, but what's crazy is, I mean, I knew about Madhouse, you know, the Madhouse 8 being recorded basically back to back to back. Obviously, this isn't the entire Apollonia 6 album, but I mean, there's a lot of it, like back to back to back to back. And again, like I said, A Million Miles is on constant rotation. It has been since 84 for me, and I'm not lying. It's one of my favorite songs. I love the bass on A Million Miles, and Brenda's vocal delivery and all that jazz. All right, we're not finished, but I want to end our what did Prince do this week? Week 5. 14 songs total so far in 1984. 29 studio visits total so far. And these are all the songs that were tracked. Thank you again, Chip and Sparrow, for letting me know I had left off Oliver's House. And now this week again, Prince tracked Some Kind of Lover, A Million Miles, In a Spanish Villa, Manic Monday, back to back to back to back, which is insane in my personal opinion. So I wanted to talk a little bit about The Purple World. And I don't know if you watched this, Michael Dean.
I've seen it twice, and we're going to be doing a review on it. So I have seen it.
Uh-oh.
Okay. All right. So let me start off.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Let me say, boy, hopefully we can survive the Prince documentary if that ever comes out, because it seems like a lot of people had a lot to say about this. Oh wow, I'm like, is everything all right? Like it ain't.
Well, let me.
Was in their feelings, weren't they?
What I want to say. So I was enjoying the documentary because I'm a process geek, and it's actually one of the best documentaries I've ever seen, doing like a timeline of events and stuff. So I was engrossed. Obviously, I was like, why didn't they finish Prince's narrative? Meaning, like, he did contribute a song for the Tears in Your Eyes on the album, and that is the only reason why I bought that album, was for the Prince track. So I was, basically not eating to get one song off the whole album, and I did it. And he also recorded a video for that song, which is beautiful. So I was a little salty about that. However, this is where I was like, really? If you watch the credits, there is a section that says in memoriam. Pause it and see if Prince's name is there. It is not. And I don't like that. I'm sorry. You've talked about Prince the entire time in this documentary in key points. You're showing, but you're not going to just give Prince a rest in peace with everybody else that's listed. I don't know. I got a problem with that.
Well, you mean the part where they show the people who say were actually there, that they show the rest in peace? Because I know, if I'm thinking of what you're thinking about, those were the individuals who were actually there, who participated.
But they didn't talk about Prince once in this documentary.
Oh yeah. Hey, look, I totally agree with you. He was at one point the centerpiece that they kept centering.
They were centering. It was one of the centerpieces. They brought Sheila on, and I felt really bad for Sheila because one, they invited Sheila in the first place to get Prince to come, and now they're interviewing Sheila essentially for Prince. So like twice, like she's been put on to talk about Prince. Like she didn't, you know what I mean? So, but the thing is, like, even though he didn't contribute in the actual recording of We Are the World, he is on the album, and they couldn't put him in the memoriam section. I think that's tacky. That's me.
Did they thank the people that contributed? I mean, that contributed, I know, to the album, like any of the others, or were they there? Because I know he wasn't the only one that had a song on there.
True.
And so I'm just wondering if they gave any type of nod to the other individuals that contributed to the album, not that night, but to the album. Because
right, I think I'm going to do a follow up once I get off. I'm going to look to see who was on the album, see if they're still alive, and if they were in that list or not.
Get them, D'Angelo. Get them. Get them.
Like, listen.
You got to do a petition, chump.
I mean, seriously, it's just like.
Get him, D.
Why can't you just say in memoriam to Prince? And like, it's a whole list of people. It's like 8 or 9 people, and you're not going to put Prince in that list.
Yeah.
You think they did it maliciously?
Possibly.
Damn.
I think
Lionel. Wow.
Say Madonna wasn't listed on that.
Was she on the album?
No.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I can't tell you the outside of Prince being on the album, like who else was on there. I know some other artists were on there. I don't know if they were all artists that showed up that night. or if they didn't. But to D's point, they made it a point into the documentary where it was a centerpiece that kept coming back to, like, throughout the storyline, because they kept, oh yeah, well, he's going to show. Maybe I talked to him. Well, I'm here for this reason. This person's showing, and they kept coming back to it.
That's what I'm saying.
And then they mentioned he gave a song, I think, and then it's very brief, but then that's it. But there is no nothing at the end of thanking. I don't think they thank any of the individuals that contributed, I know, to the album. I think they
Here-
just,
I'm not
here's the songs real quick.
talking about in memoriam, Ricky. You're not listening to what I'm saying. That's the
Yeah.
people who have gone on. They
yeah,
did not list Prince as one of the people who have gone. You like if you're going to talk about Prince the entire time. Not, I mean, obviously, I'm exaggerating,
yeah, I got you. I got
but
you.
like you just can't like give a rest in peace in memoriam to Prince of all people.
Hey, that could be the Quincy effect.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mike.
No, real quick. Just, so some of the other songs are on there. Steve Perry had a song apparently. The Pointer Sisters did a song on the album. Bruce Springsteen had a song. It was a live song with Jimmy Cliff. Uh, a group made up of David Foster, Brian Adams, and Jim Vallis.
Mm, okay.
Northern Lights, Prince and Revolution. Chicago did a song with Richard Marx. Tina Turner had a song on the album. Kenny Rogers had a song, and then Huey Lewis in the News,
Okay.
which I had no idea.
That's interesting.
Listen, I'm going to say quickly. I thought the documentary itself was fascinating. Like, uh, just seeing all those people in the room and the whole interactions, everything. I was like, yo, I was loving it, and I had no really intention of thought this was going to be a big deal. I was like, let me just check this out. I've seen it twice. Like I was just like, wow. Uh, I didn't personally get any shade toward Prince from me viewing it. I thought they did Prince a solid the way they sort of presented because they could have. It didn't make Prince look shady to me. Uh, they could have went and showed what happened to Prince that night, and I'm kind of glad they didn't.
Yeah.
If they're not going to go and explain other stuff, and I think looking at it as a Prince fan with hard lenses, of course, that's the first thing I'm looking for to see. Oh, is he going to be on it? But I think just looking at it as a general person, I didn't catch it as any shade toward Prince, and to me, it wasn't about Prince at all. Like uh, as I start to watch it, the things that I felt like the narrative were about, Prince was like that's part of it to me. Um, he wasn't. He didn't come. They tried to get him. Cool, but there's so much other greatness going on, like to focus on, and the interactions of trying to figure out and working together. To me, that's what the show was about. The
Yeah.
Prince part was just you mentioned him because he was the biggest thing in the world at that particular time, amongst all these other big artists, and it didn't work out. But so what? They kept it going. But like I said, I didn't see anything necessarily wrong with it. But I do understand, if you're looking for, I'm
I'm not looking for.
not saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying, like, obviously, very cognizant.
Michael,
Of
Michael, I was enjoying the documentary. I loved the documentary because I am a process geek. However,
Mhm.
I am going to share my screen really quickly. Let's see. Let's look at that is the credits. In Love and Memory, I just like thought it would just give a little credit to Prince, and he would be on this list. This is what I'm upset about, is that he's not in this list.
I don't.
I guess, but every one of those people that are listed were actually there though at that night, and that's why I said that I think the documentary was about that night, not about the actual album.
Well, I
But
can say
I don't know.
I was glad that they gave my man Lewis Johnson a little bit of screen time. I know the rhythm section. That's just me. They didn't mention his name in the credits, and he's passed away as well. So,
Mm.
but I was happy about that. I kind of agree. I'm like with Mike. Like I thought it was cool. I mean, it was all this time. I thought the video that said we saw for years was all like one happening at that moment, not like it was let's record the chorus first and then come back and do
Right.
everybody else. That was new, and it's kind of like, oh, that's how they did that. But again, I mean, it was a trip down memory lane, and I enjoyed it. Um, I see why some Prince fans are kind of upset. I mean, especially those who didn't kind of come up in that era, like when it happened in real time. I felt the same way I felt about it, man, in real time. Like, oh, Prince didn't show. Okay, cool. Like, for like whatever reason it was, I
Mm.
don't remember being really heartbroken or upset then. I wasn't heartbroken, hurt years later when I found out why he didn't show, even though he did a song about it. So, but it was a nice trip down memory lane, seeing how it came together, um, and those
Yeah.
things, man. And it's been funny watching people over the past few days kind of post these things about Quincy Jones making those comments about Prince's like piano playing and all those types of things, and Q's gonna have to just stand on that one. People give him a hard time for it, but I think in hindsight, Prince, kind of did the right thing, because when you try to imagine him at that time in that setting, he would have had big chicks separating people from him. You know what I'm saying? Like pushing Huey Lewis and them out the way, like move. You know, you know what I'm saying? So, but it worked out. I mean, because we got a song and then we got a video, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure people probably watch Prince's video more than they do. I know the We Are the World video now, not over time. I'm talking about now.
Mm.
Like, people will probably pull up his song video before they pull up like We Are the World. Like We Are the World now. Well, I take that back. Before the documentary, people probably would have pulled up the Prince video.
I don't know,
We Are
man.
the World doc is
There's a lot of young people that were doing reactions to We Are the World.
oh, were there?
They
Yeah.
be crying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like a year ago. I used to
Wow.
like, it was a thing.
Okay.
I would watch that, and I'm like, I just wanted to see what they thought, because they had really no connection to a lot of the
Yeah.
artists, and they would be on there crying. They were like,
That's
"Wow,
and
what
that's
is
why,
this?"
because it's funny you mention that, because I would show that like to my students, be like, like this actually happened, and I would
Mm,
say, I just have them to be like, who in your generation could do something like this? They start naming, kind
mm.
of trying to figure it out. But yeah, most of them, they had no clue like that had ever happened, or that's why when you said that they did say reaction video, that's kind of surprising. Like, wow, like I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. But at end of the day, Prince, Prince was in a part of this project.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day,
Yeah,
he's
you
a supporter of this
can't mention
project.
it and then not mention him.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't
That-
know if those other groups did videos for their songs, but he did a video and
yeah, I mean,
did a song, so it's
I
all
mean,
good.
two, two, two big events that people I do remember more being more like disappointed that he didn't do Live Aid, because that was a
Mm,
concert. I would have liked to have seen him like perform, and I would have wanted him to show how bad they were, like to the world who they was watching at that time. Like I thought that would have been great for them to see them live in their element. That's like the only time I think out of that run of doing those type things, that I think I remember being highly disappointed that he didn't do Live Aid more than he didn't do We Are the World.
Mm,
mm.
yeah,
I
that makes a lot of sense. So, Michael, I know you have to leave, but I do want to share that Rodney Fitzgerald actually shared this Jet magazine
Jet,
article,
good old Jet.
yeah, on
This Jet
Instagram,
magazine.
because this also happened that night of
Right.
the recording of We Are the World, and I remember either Wally talking about this or reading it in his book, or both. But like, Wally was arrested for assault because of a photographer trying to get Prince's photo. And then we all know that Prince wrote about this in his song Hello, sort of recapping
Mm,
what was going on as well. For those of you who've listened to Hello or haven't listened to Hello, you should listen to that, which is one of the B-sides where he kind of recounts a little bit of that night. I'm not going to read this entire thing. It's on the slideshow, but things were going on. Like, even if he wanted to come, like with all of this going on, you know, maybe he was just distracted, even if he wanted to come with, all this kind of thing going on. So you just don't know.
I'm glad they didn't put that in the documentary, because that look crazy. Like, when
Yeah.
he was in the streets acting a fool, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would argue. I'm gonna get into. I would argue he sort of changes his image as a back off of the backlash of that.
Yeah.
So let me get on the cover of People magazine smiling.
Yeah.
Switch it up.
Let me get a Chiquita yellow suit.
Yeah.
Double breasted.
I'm like, gonna have me out here.
You know what? Can these ruffles? Give me a necktie. Cufflinks. I gotta get on Cosby.
Yeah. All right. So I just want to remind everyone we're on a countdown. I need to start actually doing the countdown to Erotic City 40 Symposium live at NYU in Brooklyn on April 12th through 14th. We will be doing a deep dive like we've been doing even deeper for Purple Rain, Apollonia 6, Sheila E., Ice Cream Castle. And I wanted to give a shout out to the Apollonia 6 presentations. I am so excited. I was like, Zachary Hoskins has to do a presentation about Apollonia 6. So I'm really excited. And Brittany Parker is going to do another presentation, as well as Craig Seymour, which I'm super excited about because they haven't participated. And Chris Aguilar Garcia is going to moderate the Apollonia 6 presentations. And then the Apollonia 6 roundtable is going to be Chanisha Scott, Ronna Nicole, Tammy Sharp, Violet Brown, and it will be moderated by Miss India. So I'm really excited about that.
Ladies.
Yeah.
This is going to be in person?
Yeah, this is going to be in person. Yeah.
Shoot.
In person for the Erotic City.
Mikey coming?
Yeah.
We'll be there. Yes,
okay.
Mike is coming. And I love Patricia. It's clearing calendar right now. And we're also going to live stream it. So if you're not able to join us. And then obviously I'm really waiting for the COM30 virtual symposium. I love COM. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, we're going to skip that. This is the accompanying playlist. Again, if you click on it, it'll take you there and you can see there is Prince's version of A Million Miles on there. So if you haven't heard that, you might want to check it out. And then we also have the Take Me With You demo on there as well. And then next week, we are going to be reading pages 254 and 267. And I wanted to take us out because if the stream stops, it's okay. But we are going to play A Million Miles. Thank you, everybody.
Yay.
We just talked about you, Rodney, your article, your Jet article, Rodney.
Come on, Rodney.
How can I illustrate my love for you? What would you do if you were in my shoes? Would you climb the highest mountain? Would you sail across the sea? If I were a million miles away, would you visit me? How could I illustrate how much I really care? How could you, if you were here, my dear, and I was there? Would you eat a poison apple? Would you be burned at the stake? If I were a million miles away, would you visit me? I love you, a million miles. I love you. I love you, a million miles. I love you. If you love me, would you replace an apple? How much would you take? Would you be burned at the stake? Where's the dawn? Darkness is death. Don't die, live forever, so you love him.
I always love that keyboard part where it goes, zip. You know what I'm talking about, Ricky?
Yeah.
I'd do most anything. If you got in trouble, I'd steal my diamond ring. That's how much I love you, baby.
I love hearing Prince on this track. I always love it when you can hear Prince's vocals in the mix.
Yeah.
Shout out to the bass player on this track. piano solo.
Oh, this is my favorite part right here. Somebody, somebody clap your hands. Somebody, somebody clap your hands. Somebody, somebody clap your hands. Somebody clap your hands. Yes, I am the same D, Andrew. And now Cam and I are married. Yep. Sheila E. I really love Apple's background vocals on this track. I think she does a great job. We got a little chicken grease. For those of you who don't know what chicken grease is, this is what chicken grease is. I love this. We don't have any rhythm. All right. So it needs to be re-released. I could play this only because it didn't get like marked. It might get marked later if they ever remaster it.
Right.
Today,
Until then,
6 is not streamable. So I wanted to play the full thing for those of you who have never heard it. Just to show you the magic of Prince, even on Apollonia 6. So, Michael Dean, take us out. Before we do, we cutting.
we cut.
We cutting. That's it.
Cut.
We just cut it. Go back and replay that. But I think somebody said, yo, smash the like button, share this out with everyone in the community. Have a great rest of your week. Work it like a job. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.